Good morning, Tahmina Khan is here in TKMaths is fun. In today's video, we will study non-calculator question for ADMAS. This is a new assessment criteria of additional mathematics paper 1, which will start from June 2025. So this is the first question on the topic of equation, inequality and graph. What could be a non-calculator question? So look at the question here. On the axis, sketch the graph of y is equals to 2x minus 5, x plus 3, y minus x. Now 3 things are very important to note down here. Number 1 is, it is cubic graph, right? And we know if the cubic graph have positive coefficient, the shape of the graph is like this. If it has negative coefficient, then it is like this. So let's see here, the terms of x, if you multiply these terms. So 2x multiplied by x is 2x square, and multiplied by minus x will be minus 2x cube. So what did we see from here? That the coefficient of x cube is negative. It means the shape of the graph will be like this. Number 1 thing. Number 2 thing is, the factors are given here, which means you know the roots. Because from the first one, x is equals to 5 upon 2. From x plus 3, you can get x equals to minus 3. And from here, if you put 1 minus x equals to 0, you know how do we do in case you don't understand what I'm saying? This is how you get the roots from the factors, right? So I'm getting all 3 roots. It means these points will be on the x-axis. So let me mark here 1, 2, 3. Here minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. So the first root is at x equals to 1, which will be passing through here. Then it is minus 3 will pass from here. Then it is 2 upon 5, it will pass through here. Third important thing is, if you see the constant in each factor, minus 5 and 3 is minus 15. Minus 15 multiplied by 1 is minus 15. It means the y-axis intercept will be at minus 15. Let me write it here neatly. So minus 5 into 3 into 1 is minus 15. That will give me y-intercept. So roughly, I'm just marking here minus 15. It is not drawn to scale, but you have to highlight all the important points on the x-axis, y-axis and the shape. So this will help you to get 3 marks. And now shape of the graph is like this. So I will make it pass from here. So roughly, now how high it will go and how low it will go, that you can figure out. But right now the most important point is to show here 3 things. Number 1, shape. Number 2, the roots which are on the x-axis. And number 3 is intercept on the y-axis. If you keep it little high or little low, it will not make a difference in getting the marks. Okay, oh sorry. Okay, so this is the shape of the curve. Now next part of the graph is hence solve the inequalities. When the word hence come, it means you have to take help of the previous part. Now when you substitute the values of x here, what do you get? The answer you get is actually representing the answer of y. Clear? So meaning of this question is y is less than equals to 0. So which part of the curve has negative values of y? Let's see here. So if you see here, this part of the curve is below sorry, my hand is actually just shaking a bit. So this part of the curve, I'm just trying to explain to you. This part of the curve has negative values of y, right? And this part of the curve has negative values of y. So what are the values of x on this part of the curve? If you see here, the values of x on this part of the curve are all in between minus 3 to 1. Yes or no? So I can say the values of x are between because equals to symbol is used here. So greater than -3 and less than equals to 1. And what about this part of the curve? The values of x are here, right? So you can say x is greater than or equals to 2.5 because this intersection was at 2.5. So this is, you will solve. To get the inequalities, you don't have to do anything. You just have to look at the sketch you have drawn and get the answer from there. This is the meaning of hence. On the axis below, sketch the graph of, now the same thing but in the modulus. Now what happened in the modulus, whatever the values of x are, they become positive. So let me take the graph from here. Just give me 1 second. Let me erase these part. Okay, so now what will happen, the part which is coming below the x-axis will be reflected in the x-axis. Let me just copy it here over there. Okay, right. So for the modulus, what will happen, the part which is below the x-axis will be reflected in the x-axis. So what will happen now, this -15, suppose it comes here, plus 15, okay, and this lowest part will come here. So the shape of the graph will be something like this. Okay, let me use some other color. Pink is better. So the final shape of the graph will be this part which is reflected in the, I need to make it little symmetrical. This one is already above the x-axis, and this part of the curve which is below the x-axis will be reflected here like this. So your final shape of the graph for this part of the question will be this pink part. So you will erase this bottom part from here. So your final shape of the curve is this. So I hope you understood how you have to answer for the non-calculator question on equation, inequality and graph. Thank you very much for watching the video. Please press like and subscribe button and share it with your friends. I will upload more non-calculator question videos. You will get the indication immediately. Thank you. Take care. Allah Hafiz.